I'm Scott. I created this video to show you how to install a joystick that automatically switches from 4-way to 8-way so you can play games that use different methods on the joysticks on the same cabinet. This video is part of a series of videos I've created related to the Arcade1UP cabinets. In this video, I'll show you how I added the 4-way to 8-way switchable joystick created by Stefan Burger to my Gen 1 Space Invaders cabinet that's been converted previously to a 60-in-1 cabinet. The 60-in-1 board contains classic games that use a 4-way joystick, such as Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Dig Dug, Donkey Kong, Burger Time, and Frogger. It also contains classic games that use an 8-way joystick, such as 1942 Battle Midway, Gunsmoke, and Time Pilot. In the past, you would have to set your joystick to either 4-way or 8-way, and have the desired gameplay on some of the games, but sacrifice gameplay on other games. This product by Stefan Burger, this solves the problem. In this video, I'll show you the product, how to install it, and we'll discuss other similar products. Alright, let's get started. Alright, got my package here from Stefan Burger. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open it. I've already cut that. Let me tell you, I did open it up a little bit to see what came in it before I did the video. And, you know, this is coming overseas. Stefan lives in Europe. I live in one of the flyover states in America, Kentucky. So it came a long way. You get this manual. It's very nice. I mean, it looks like, to be honest with you, it looks like something that Arcade1UP put together. So very professional. You know, they're a whole company. He's a single entity. So he did an excellent job on this. Well packaged. I mean, all this foam. So this is what it looks like. And I'll start pulling the pieces out. Now I got, just so you know, he sells kits for 2 controllers. I just got the 1 controller. I'm going to put it on my Space Invaders cab there that has a 60-in-1 board in it. So I just needed to work with 1 joystick. So let's see, in here, here's a cable. This is the JST cable. It's a 5-pin cable, and I'll show you how to connect that up. Well, I'm going to show you how to do all this as we go through it. But here's a USB cable with a micro USB connector. Here is, this is part of the good parts. I believe this is the Arduino board. If I can get it open. All right, this is my Arduino board. AKA, this is the brains. This is what's going to make that servo motor change positions. Here we go. What else I have here? All right, this is my button. Basically a HAPP style button. The thing here is it's got some electronics in it. It's a 2-way button. 1, 2. Instead of being just 1 push button, there's 2 push buttons. So one's going to be for 4-way, the other's going to be for 8-way. Switching the gate from 4-way to 8-way. And this is my actual, this will go connect to the bottom of the SANWA joystick, which that's important to understand. It's a SANWA gate, it's not for HAPPs. So in my example, my cabinet, that's a HAPPs. Come on, Scott. That's a HAPPs joystick, so I'm gonna have to replace my HAPPs joystick with a SANWA joystick so I can connect this to the bottom of it. And here's a wire that would go to that PCB I just showed you, the Arduino board. And this thing will spin. I'll show all this in action. This will spin this motor, which will spin this black gate, and that'll switch it from, it'll make this thing turn. So it'll go from 4-way to 8-way. And I'll show all this in action so you see it working. What is this? This is a power plug. You can plug it into the wall, plug your USB port in there. I won't be using this. I'm going to grab power off the 5-volt line in there, and I'll show you how to do all that. So another way you could, so there's really 3 ways to do the 5-volt power is from the wall on here. You could hook it up from a 5-volt connector, or if you had a PC or a Pi in here, you could plug your USB to provide the 5-volt power. So that's pretty much it for the all the equipment you need to turn a 1-player joystick from lets it switch electronically from 4-way to 8-way. Now let's talk about some additional parts I needed to order. So this is really set up for you to add this to like a PC or a Raspberry Pi. In my situation, this cabinet's got a 16-1 board in it right here, and that is, I've got videos. I'll put a link to it right here to show you how I converted this to put a 16-1 board in it. One of the things about this is I put in a HAPPs joystick because the wiring harness I put in there had 0.187 for the JAMMA. I have a JAMMA system wiring harness in there, and the pins on the JAMMA harness is 0.187, and so this HAPP joystick uses 187. Problem is this gate, 4-way, 8-way gate from Stefan only works with SANWA style joysticks, so I cannot put this on the bottom of my HAPP joystick. So now we're going down the rabbit hole. So I had to get a SANWA joystick. Okay, so I ordered a new joystick. I got this from Do-It-Yourself Retro Arcade, and it's not just, I'll put the part number down here somewhere on what part this is, but it's a nice joystick, SANWA joystick. And so, by the way, this template right here is not the same template as that HAPP. So I'm going to have to go into my control panel that I also got from Do-It-Yourself Retro Arcade and mark the different holes. Make sure this post is centered in there. So I'll have a little work to do to pull that old one out and reinstall this one. It's not as simple. I mean, it is simple, but there's some work to do. This is the gate. This clear thing is a gate. You can slip it around to put it in 4-way or 8-way. That's going to be replaced by that yellow gate that had the motor on it. I'll take this off and plug that in, and that's how this will be connected. So I also had to order a ball for it. I got yellow to go with the yellow theme on the Space Invaders. Now I also got this adapter cable. I got this off Amazon Prime, but I think Do-It-Yourself Retro Arcade sells the same cable. Maybe I think his is a little bit longer. So what this does, this will take my USB power from the Arduino board. It has a USB adapter, micro USB to full-size USB. So that'll plug in here, and then I'll take this barrel connector and I'll plug it into one of my 5-volt lines. I've got splitters in here off the 5 volts, and that's how I'm going to provide 5 volts to the Arduino board that's with Stefan Burgers, and that provides power that will let that servo motor change from 4-way to 8-way. So this is my little, from a adapter cable from USB to the barrel connector. Okay, so the wiring harness for the SANWA joystick, that joystick came with this wiring bundle. So I could have used this. I could have taken some pins and put those on myself. I didn't have any in stock. I mean, I could have bought some off the internet and done the work. What I did is I just bought this little adapter, and this is off Do-It-Yourself Retro Arcade. So what this will plug into, the white connector here will plug into the SANWA joystick like that on these connectors, and then these will go into the different up, down, left, right, and the ground off the 0.187 JAMMA Harness connectors that are currently plugged into that HAPP joystick. So that's how I'm going to go from a HAPP's basically a HAPP style harness to a SANWA style connector joystick. All right, done with the first part. I was able to install my new SANWA joystick into the control panel. So there's the SANWA joystick installed. Here is my old HAPP joystick removed, and you can see there the layout, the template's bigger. This is a square, and then the connectors are on each of the switches. Where on the SANWA joystick you have this 5-pin connector. So that's all done. The only issue I had is my left rights were backwards versus how I had it wired for my HAPP. So if it looks funny, because it is funny, my left and right, the green and yellow, I had to swap. And then at that point everything was working fine. So we put it there, and I go up, down, right, right, left, left, up, left, right, down, left. So that's all working. And then I left my player 2 hole empty. I usually don't play 2 players. I'm always playing by myself. So this is where I'm going to put the switch for the 4-way and the 8-way gate. Now I have an option. I could put it over here. This is about 1 button, 2 button, and my 3 button. And I believe only one game has a 3 button, and that might be a Gunsmoke, but it's an 8-way game that I want to play some. So I left that in. I could put it there, or I could drill another hole. I haven't decided upon my final, but right now I'm going to start off with putting it here, because like I said, 99.99% of the time I'm playing a 1-player game by myself. All right, I'm following along in the manual. I mean, once again, this instruction booklet that Stephen put together, it's designed just like Arcade1UP. It's like this is their part, and they've sent it out. But so I've installed the 2 switch button over here, and I put that into my player 2 position. And then now I'm removing the 4-way, 8-way gate that's on the SANWA, and I had that just sitting there. So just for demonstration purposes only, to show you what we're taking off. So this came off the back of there. All right, so this next step, 13 installation, I've put the actual 4-way, 8-way gate mechanism, this yellow part. That's where I took the clear 4-way, 8-way gate off, and I put this on. This has a servo motor. That's going to rotate this to be 4-way, 8-way. This is the cable. It's going to plug into the Arduino unit. So the next piece is to take the sticky tape off the back of the Arduino unit and just place it onto the control panel. Okay, so I think I got a lot of room on my control panel. I'm going to eventually mount it here, but initially I'm not going to mount it. I want to make sure everything works. So we're going to go on to the next step, which is install the cable from into the Arduino unit and then into the 4-way, 8-way button. So let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back. All right, so this step 15 of the installation shows where I'm just going to put this cable, install it into the Arduino board, and then the other end goes into my 2-way button. So here's the cable, the ribbon cable. It's in the Arduino board, and it's in my 2-way button. And then just to verify what buttons are still working, one left, right. So they're still clicking, nothing's obstructed. It just clicks in there. All right, so now we're going to move on to the next step. All right, this next step, this part is very important. This wire we're going to plug in from the servo motor to the Arduino board. We're going to plug it in right here. This orientation, the servo motor is orange, 5 volts is red, ground is brown. Okay, that's referring to these wires here. There's the brown on the left, red in the middle, and orange on the right. All right, so brown is ground. And then if I look at my Arduino board, it fell down because I haven't put the sticky side on it yet. Let's see, this connector, it's marked. So you see where it says ground, it says servo, that black connector, ground, 5 volts and power. So gotta make sure we connect that right. Don't get it backwards, whatever you do. All right, so we'll do that and then we'll come back. Keep going with the project. All right, so I've connected my servo motor to the Arduino, and let's make sure the ground is connected to the brown wire. So we look at it here. There's the wire coming off the servo motor. The brown wire is right here on the right. We look down, yep, there's the ground connector, plus 5 volts is a red, and the power is or the servo motor is orange. Now later on in the project, after I make sure everything's working, I'm going to put the double-sided sticky right there and attach it, or I may just put a screw there, I'm not sure yet, probably the sticky. The next piece is now we got to provide power. So this is where the micro USB is going to plug into the Arduino board right there. Okay, and then I got to feed it the 5 volts of power. So this is where I'm going to differentiate. This is feeding the 5 volts power to this Arduino. I'm going to show you how to do it on a 60-in-1 board. So when we come back, I'll turn the cabinet around and show you where I get the 5 volts from. All right, I'm in the back of my cabinet. Once again, I have a 60-in-1 installed here. So that's my power supply. This is my amplifier. Now with the amplifier, it actually came with this little dongle right here. So I created my own cable. I have a black wire that's coming off the 5 volts of my power supply, and I have a black wire that's coming off the ground of my power supply right here by the once again, I don't have this plugged in, so I'm not worried about shocking myself. But so there's a 5 volts right here, and there's a ground. So I just created a piggy tail, and it comes into here. And this is a barrel connector. So now that barrel connector is going to have 5 volts. And what I connected to the barrel connector was that short thing I showed you earlier, the short connector. It converts a USB port to a barrel connector. Okay, and so this black wire here with this USB connector, which just went back in here, this runs up to my Arduino board. So you can't really see it from here. Let's see if I can get up there. Yeah, you see it's connected into the Arduino board. Okay, so that is how I'm providing 5 volts to my Arduino board and a cabinet that's got a 60-in-1. All right, just to summarize this before I do my smoke test, here is the servo motor. Here's its cable. It's connected into the Arduino board. This cable is the connection to the button that does 4-way or 8-way selection. And down here is their micro USB cable connector that provides the 5 volts. And that's coming from the connection down there in my power supply. So we'll do the smoke test and see what happens. Okay, here we are. I have everything set up. We're getting ready to turn it on for the first time. I refer to these as smoke tests. So hopefully I wired everything up right and I don't blow anything and smoke comes up. So let's see, here we go. Going to the back of the unit. I'm going to switch it on. And there we go. All right, first thing I noticed is this LED light came on the button. It's red. I noticed down here, the LED light for power came on for the Arduino unit. And then up here on the screen, it's counting down or counting up. It's installing the games. So it's kind of cool. So let me just flip this over. Supposedly this light will change, LED light will change red or blue depending on if it's 4-way or 8-way. Yep, I just pressed the left button. That changed the blue and this moved. And when we push the right button, that changed to red, and then this moved. So let me try to get you a close-up about the movement. All right, I got the camera. I'm holding it by hand, so this will be a little shaky. But let me show you a little close-up of that servo motor working. So right now the light's on blue. Here's what the, let's see if I can get it right there. And then I push it, I push the right one, it turns red, now you can see it moving. So blue, red. Let's see if I can come down here at a better angle. Blue, red. So you see that square is moving. So the servo motor right there is moving that black bar right there, which is twisting the gate. And that's going from 4-way to 8-way. And that's going to allow the joystick now to play 4-way games like Pac-Man or Frogger correctly, and to play 8-way games like Time Pilot or 1942, 1943 correctly. And all I'm doing is over here and pushing this button just like that. Let's see if I can move it down, show you. So I'm just pushing this button here, one way or the other. All right, cool. All right, just before I put a wrap on here and close down the control panel, I just want to show you I did install the Arduino board. I put some double-sided the sticky tape on there that he gave us, and then I put one screw on there just because I was a little nervous that some of this, when I turn it upside down, maybe trying to pull that sticky side tape off. So that's attached. So we are now good to go to close up the control panel. All right, just to do a quick review here on this button. There's actually two ways you can switch the servo motor, okay, from 4-way to 8-way. There's the automated way, and then there's the manual way. Now, the implementation I have in this video, it's the manual way because I have this button. So I can go, that's blue is 4-way and red is 8-way. So I'm manually switching the servo motor, the gate from 4-way to 8-way. Based on which game I play, I could forget to do it, end up playing a 4-way game with 8-way install. I just have to, make sure I flip this button. So there's also the automated way. So the automated way, now I've not done this, so I'm just telling you high level what you got to do, but the automated way works with a PC implementation or a Raspberry Pi when you have RetroPie installed. So you can have scripts that are written for each game that indicates if it's 4-way or 8-way. And so when a game is started, it automatically executes the script, and that changes this gate from 4-way to 8-way. Now, once again, I've not personally done this. I can't tell you exactly how it is, how you do it, on how to write that script. There's some videos out there, and I'll put links to those in my description. So that's pretty slick. If I did a Raspberry Pi implementation, I would do that. I wouldn't include this manual button. But since it's a 16-1, or if you had an Arcade1UP cabinet, such as I think it's Burger Time. It's got Burger Time as 4-way, but Time Pilot's on there, and Time Pilot's 8-way. You can install this button and put it on, install a SANWA joystick, and that way you can play Time Pilot properly. All right, I'm gonna do some game demos here. Now I'm in portrait mode just so you can see me touching the button over here, and also so you can see the screen gameplay. It's not really too dramatic unless you play it. You can't really see it that much, but I'll show you a couple of games where you can really see it, such as Centipede. So I'm gonna go in here. Hold well, there was centipede right there. So centipede, I select that. Now centipede uses a trackball, but you can use your joystick in here. So right now I'm on red, which is 8-way. And if you see it, I can move him up diagonally. Okay. Now let me switch to, I'm going to press the button. I go, now I'm in 4-way, and I can't really, I can go left and right, up and down, but it's hard for me to go diagonally. But if I switch it to 8-way, you can see I can make him go up and down at an angle, left and right, almost as good as a trackball. So that one's really noticeable. All right, the next demonstration I want to do, this once again is going to be an 8-way game. Now, originally I had this control panel set up as 4-way because 95% of the games I played were 4-way games, and I just played the 8-way games. You know, I suffered. But if I set it to 8-way, then when I would play 4-way games like it's Pac-Man or New Rally X, if you put it would sometimes not go the way you want it to go. So instead of going left, it would go up, or instead of going up, it'd go right. It was just not good. So I set it all to 4-way, and I just never really played the 8-way. So this example of an 8-way is going to be Time Pilot. So Time Pilot, you're going to fly the plane. You can go up, down, left, right. You're supposed to be able to go at an angle, right? That way, that way, that way. And an 8-way joystick lets you do that. Let's see what happens during gameplay. All right, so I'm just going to fly him around. Look, so red is 8-way. I'm over here at red. Look, he's at an angle. I go right, angle, angle, up, left angle, down angle. I go straight. All these different ways. Okay? Now watch, I'm going to change into blue. See, I can't go at an angle anymore. It's at blue. By the way, when I shifted that to blue, it was at an angle, and it pulled my joystick away. So I can only go up, right, left, down. No angles anymore. So now I'm going to switch it back. I can switch it back to red. Red is 4-way. I'm sorry, red is 8-way. And now I can go at the angle again. Okay, so Time Pilot's a big deal. I don't know how people ever played this on that cabinet with, I think it's Burger Time, which is a 4-way game. Or if they had an 8-way joystick and then you had to play Burger Time with a 4-way with an 8-way joystick. Now, I don't know, that's crazy. I don't have that cabinet, but I know it's got those two games on it. And Burger Time is 4-way and Time Pilot's 8-way. All right, for this game demo, we're going to go up and we're going to play Pac-Man. Of course, Pac-Man's a 4-way joystick. So I'm on red, which is 8-way. This looks like it's Miss Pac-Man. Same difference. It's a maze game. So I'm going to go up at an angle. So it didn't go. Now, I see I was going down. Was I going down or an angle? I don't know. So let me switch over. I just switched it to blue. If you look over here, it's blue. And now it's much easier to go because, you know, you don't get caught where you're at an angle where no switches or two switches are hit. So it plays so much nicer. All right, so that's Miss Pac-Man where I had an 8-way, the red, and I switched to 4-way blue. All right, this last game that we're going to demonstrate how the 4-way, 8-way joystick switching really helps is the 1942. And you know, this is the same for 1943 Battle Midway or 1943 Kai. It's same impact. So we're going to start out with blue, which is 4-way. So just like Time Pilot, when it's blue or 4-way, you can't fly at an angle, up or down. You can only fly up and down, left and right. So up, down, left, right. Can't go at an angle. When I go at an angle, nothing happens. So on the fly, I'm going to switch to red. Now I can go up at an angle. Notice how he's flying at angles up and down, left, right, up, down. So with this joystick, now you can enjoy playing the 8-way joystick game on your 16-1, all those 1942 and 1943 games, because you get the angle just like you did in the arcade. Okay, so this joystick switching thing really expands all the game usage you can have and enjoyment on these 16-1 boards. So it's worth the money to really play all the games, 4-way or 8-way games, the way they were designed to play in the arcades. All right, let's talk a little bit about vendors. All right, here is some information about this product. I purchased it from Stefan Burger. He lives in Europe. And it's a 4-way to 8-way switchable restrictor. Now, I heard about this in the summer where there's some demos of it going on. And in the fall, I believe Stefan released the product to everybody. So the base price is $20, that's US dollars, and plus shipping and handling from Europe. Now, for whatever reason, it was 25 bucks to ship from Europe to my house in Kentucky. Where other places in the US it's not $25. So just because I paid $25 doesn't mean that's what you'll pay in shipping. So my total cost was $45. Now even with the shipping, shipping was more than the product, but at $45 it's still worth it. If he was to tell me, hey, it was $45 plus shipping and handling, and it was like $6 or $8 shipping and handling, I would gladly pay more. So wouldn't blink an eye if it was 50 bucks, okay? Because the competitors are more expensive. I'll talk about those in a second. Now, Stefan has a YouTube channel. It's called Tinkering on Steroids. I'll have a link to that YouTube channel below in my description. Stefan has a Facebook page. However, there's very little activity. But Stefan uses his Facebook to communicate with customers through the Facebook Messenger. So if you want to order this, you have to contact him through Facebook Messenger. And I'll put a link to that below in the description of this video. So on his YouTube channel, the Tinkering on Steroids, he'll show you how to do a firmware update or how to do the configuration of the tools. It's really valuable if you have the PC-based, PC-based game system. I've also got links to 2 YouTube videos of people who have reviewed this product. One of them being Unqualified Critics, and the other one, Glenn Baisley. Once again, those links are below in the description. And then recently, they released in the spring of 2021 a video showing a variant of this product being used with Glenn's Retro Show, his Tron/Flight Stick interface. So I'm not exactly sure why you want to switch from 4-way to 8-way, but there's something going on. The fact that that's been demonstrated to do that. So I put a link to that in the description below too. All right, let's talk about some of the competitors to Stefan Burger's 4-way to 8-way restrictor for the SANWA-compatible joysticks. There's Ultimark as a company, and they have a product called the Mag-Stik Plus. That product runs roughly $45, which is $37 for the product plus shipping and handling. Now, below in the description of this video, I've got several links to the website, Ultimark website, and the related pages to this Mag-Stik Plus. There's also a link in the description below for a YouTube video that demonstrates the product, the installation and review, and this is by Todd Harrison. Now, Ultimark, they make another product. It's called the Servo stick. That product runs roughly $75, which is $39 for the product, the joystick, $29 for a computer board, plus shipping and handling. Once again, the description below this video, I've got some links to the Ultimark website with the pages specifically to the Servo stick. Now, there's also a YouTube video out there reviewing this product by Daniel. He does a bunch of the videos for Ultimark, and there's a link to that in the description below. All right, that wraps up this video showing you how I installed Stefan Burger's switchable 4-way to 8-way restrictors for the SANWA-compatible joysticks with the 2-in-1 arcade button. Now I installed this in my Arcade1UP cabinet that had been converted to use a 60-in-1 board. However, it could be installed in a regular Arcade1UP cabinet, such as the Burger Time cabinet, or an Arcade1UP cabinet that's been modded to contain a PC or Raspberry Pi. Now hopefully this video helps you understand the options available to you when you have multiple games on a single game cabinet that needs a 4-way joystick and an 8-way joystick. There is a solution out there. Now let me know in the comment section below if you've installed Stefan's product, or one of the products from Ultimart, or some other vendor's product that I failed to mention, and if you're happy with that product and their service. Now keep watching my YouTube channel to catch my upcoming videos on other Arcade1UP cabinet topics. For automatic updates of when I add content to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on that red subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. If you like this video, then click on the thumbs up. If you dislike this video, then click on the thumbs down. Please leave any positive feedback you have in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. Now go play some classic arcade games.